I don't have 50 million to bet with you, but I do have 3 million to bet with you. So this is your offer. $3 million. You put 3, I put 3. Winner takes all.
Jake Paul just got confronted by Andrew Tate after rejecting a $3 million fight offer. And honestly, it's hard to blame Tate. Jake dismissed the match as not worth the hype and said he had better opportunities. Sure, because chasing fights with opponents well past their prime is clearly the path to greatness, right?
This is the hardest sport in the world, and people dedicate their lives to this, and most of them never get a payday. It never pays off for the majority of fighters, all of which would f*** you up.
But do you really think the king of controversy is going to hold back? Tate called Jake out for being all talk and no action, accusing him of being too scared to take an...
It's possible.
Yeah.
There's nothing's no. Nothing's yes. We'll see. I'll escape this Matrix attack, and perhaps if he needs to be taught a lesson, I'll be the guy to teach him.
Tate made it clear this isn't just about the money. It's about proving who the real alpha is. And right now it looks like Jake's more focused on protecting that precious undefeated record than stepping up to someone who could actually challenge him.
If you want to fight and you want to send a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life to kick the living
Jake Paul and Andrew Tate, two walking controversies with boxing gloves, are tangled in a drama so wild it feels like a reality show waiting to happen. Jake, the self-proclaimed problem child, who built a career swinging fists and dodging credibility, just swerved a $3 million fight offer from none other than Andrew Tate. Yes, you read that right. He turned down $3 million. And unsurprisingly, the internet is on fire. So, why did Jake back out? According to him, the fight isn't big enough. He claimed there's no hype and said he has better opportunities. Sounds smart? Or maybe just scared?
When he fought somebody that was actually his age and was actually a boxer and was actually his size, he lost. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not trying to shit on the kid.
Not if you ask his critics. They see it as just another excuse. Jake's career has been built on fights against older, retired stars. Big names, sure, but none of them were in their prime. Tate is a different beast, younger, skilled, and wildly unpredictable. He's the kind of fighter who would turn every press conference into a psychological battlefield, a level of chaos Jake hasn't faced before. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly why he's keeping his distance.
If you want to fight and you want to send a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life to kick the living out of a goofy, entitled dickhead like you.
Tate's fiery response has only poured more gas on the flames. His challenge wasn't just about boxing. It was a statement. In his own words, "If you want to send a contract, send one to me. I'll take a break from my retired life to, kick the living hell out of you." Bold? Absolutely. But it struck a chord with fans who see Tate as someone who backs up his words with action. His narrative of being the real alpha continues to fuel his massive following, and it's put Jake in a very uncomfortable spotlight. Tate didn't take Jake Paul's rejection lightly. In fact, he went off, using Jake's refusal as the perfect opportunity to drag him through the mud. To Tate, this was never about the money. Forget the paycheck, forget the paperwork. This is about ego, reputation, and proving who's the real man. His disappointment was clear. According to him, Jake's decision wasn't about disinterest. It was about fear. Fear of finally facing someone he might not be able to beat.
Why don't you lose to an old man who's retired? If you want to fight and you want to send a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life to kick the living out of a goofy, entitled dickhead.
And of course, Tate didn't just stop there. No, he went in for the ultimate burn, calling Jake all talk and no action. He straight up challenged Paul to man up and settle things the old-fashioned way, in the ring. As if that wasn't enough, Tate made it clear he's more than willing to teach Jake a lesson while he's at it. But this isn't just another payday for Tate, at least not in his eyes. This is about pride. This is about reputation. He's painting the whole thing like a gladiator showdown, where only one man walks out with dignity. And if you believe Tate, Jake's the one getting dragged out by the ankles. Now the controversy has completely taken over social media. Fans are split. Some defend Jake, saying he's just being smart and strategic about his career. But others are siding with Tate, accusing Jake of dodging a real fight. The phrase, ducking Tate, is trending, and the debate, nowhere near cooling off.
Making the money he says he's making, Showtime Boxing wouldn't have gone out of business, and Showtime would have made sure they kept paying him.
Jake Paul's pattern is becoming hard to ignore. He consistently picks opponents who elevate his profile without posing a real threat. And it's not just fans noticing. Even Joe Rogan weighed in, challenging Jake's decision to turn down Andrew Tate's fight offer. Rogan pointed out that Tate is younger, unpredictable, and exactly the kind of test Jake needs if he wants real respect in the boxing world. At 37, Tate is still younger than most of Jake's past opponents. And unlike them, he brings a legit kickboxing background with a 76-9 record. He's not retired, rusty, or stepping into unfamiliar territory. He's dangerous, experienced, and ready. While Jake's loyal supporters continue to praise his business savvy and strategic career moves, a growing chorus of critics is calling his legitimacy as a boxer into question. Social media is on fire, with terms like Jake Circus and Malar ducking Tate trending, and the debate shows no signs of slowing down.
But long story short, Andrew Tate has been blowing up on social media, partially because of his often chilling views on women or money or even Star Wars.
Meanwhile, Andrew Tate has been crafting his own narrative, positioning this feud as part of a much bigger war under the banner of the Top G. Tate is as polarizing as they come, with a persona built on unapologetic masculinity and open disdain for societal norms. In a fiery social media post, he claimed Jake Paul is part of the Matrix, a puppet who talks big but runs when faced with a real challenge. But here's where the irony hits. For all of Tate's anti-system talk, some critics argue he's actually playing right into Jake's hands. By making such a public spectacle of the rejection, Tate might be fueling the exact thing Jake thrives on. Attention. Controversy is Jake's currency, and this drama is adding serious value. By turning down Tate, Jake may have pulled off the ultimate play, generating buzz without ever throwing a punch. After all, the headlines aren't about Tate's fight record. They're all about Jake's decision to walk away. Now, let's imagine what would actually happen if Jake Paul and Andrew Tate stepped into the ring. Because this wouldn't just be a boxing match. It'd be a clash of egos, reputations, and some seriously fragile internet masculinity.
I'm one of the lucky ones. I made a little bit of money. I don't have 50 million to bet with you, but I do have 3 million to bet with you. So this is your offer. $3 million. You put 3, I put 3. Winner takes all. I'm 5 years out the ring. I'm a kickball.
Andrew Tate is no joke in the kickboxing world, boasting an impressive record of 76 wins and just 9 losses. He's been in more fights than most of us have had bad haircuts. But here's the thing. Tate's expertise is in kickboxing, where punches and kicks are fair game. Boxing, however, is a whole different animal. No spinning kicks, no knees to the ribs, just fists. It's like asking a chef to bake a cake without eggs. Sure, they've got the skills, but it's not the same recipe. On the other side, there's Jake Paul, the self-proclaimed boxer who's been laser-focused on the sport for years. Jake has been training, sparring, and knocking out opponents who, admittedly, weren't exactly in their prime. So if these two step into a boxing ring, the real question is, does Tate's raw fight experience translate without his kicks? Or does Jake's sport-specific focus give him the clear advantage?
Talk about Jake Paul. Like, me and Jake Paul have had whatever.
Right.
You know, Jake Paul's a kid that's out doing his thing. He's trying to make some money,
Right.
whatever his deal is.
While it would be a total circus, what would a Jake Paul versus Andrew Tate fight really mean for boxing? On one hand, it could legitimize the whole celebrity boxing craze. Two controversial figures with massive fan bases. It's the kind of crossover hype traditional boxing rarely gets. But here's the bigger picture. What do fans actually want? For the traditionalists, it's about more than just the fight. It's about honor, legacy, and respect. To them, Jake Paul is a walking insult. A guy who turned boxing into a YouTube stunt show. They're demanding real competition, not spectacle. Then there's the other camp, the entertainment junkies. These fans don't care about WBC belts or pound-for-pound rankings. They crave drama, trash talk, and knockout punches perfect for TikTok clips. To them, Jake Paul is a genius, someone who turned a niche sport into mainstream entertainment. It's like watching WWE, but with real punches.
Guy, there was a time we were talking about fighting each other, and I think if this arrest didn't happen, it probably would have come to fruition. We'll see what happens in the future.
So here we are, with the boxing world at a crossroads. On one side, you have the purists demanding honor and legacy. On the other, a new wave of fans who thrive on drama and chaos. And right in the middle, Jake Paul trying to figure out if he can keep everyone happy, or if it's time to risk it all against someone like Tate. And honestly, that's the million-dollar question. Is Jake Paul a strategic mastermind playing the long game to build his empire? Or is he just scared, dodging fights that could shatter the carefully crafted image he spent years building? One thing's for sure. Whether they fight or not, this feud has already given us enough drama to fuel a Netflix series. So, what do you think? Is Jake Paul really dodging Andrew Tate, or is this just another chapter in the saga of Jake's master plan?